Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife. In today's McDojo news, we're going to talk about how a former Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu student won a $50 million judgment against her trainer. Let's check out the story. A judge on Friday awarded a $50 million default judgment to a teenage girl who sued a former jiu-jitsu trainer, alleging he sexually molested her when she was one of his students. The girl is identified only as Jane Doe in the Van Nuys Superior Court lawsuit filed on her behalf by her guardian in November of 2020 against 32-year-old Nicholas Welker Araujo, owner of the Overall Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy. The school opened in 2016 in Agora Hills and has since been closed. Judge Shirley K. Watkins ordered Araujo to pay half of the $100 million her attorneys sought during Friday's default judgment hearing. Araujo was served with a complaint but never responded to it, according to the plaintiff's attorney's court papers. The team previously reached a tentative settlement with a second school, Cobrinha Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Cobrinha lawyers maintain in their court papers, although Cobrinha allowed Araujo the use of the Cobrinha logo and that a link to Overall was on the Cobrinha website, Cobrinha, quote, had no further arrangement with Overall and lacked any oversight or control over Overall. But according to the plaintiff's attorney's court papers, Araujo was, quote, so emboldened by the platform that Cobrinha provided him with its utter lack of any supervision, Araujo would sexually abuse the plaintiff in the parking lot serving Cobrinha within mere minutes of when the plaintiff and Araujo were in Cobrinha's gym. Within the wake of the tentative accord, the teen's attorneys filed a request for dismissal of Cobrinha as a defendant on Tuesday. The plaintiff, then 13, began attending Overall Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training in December of 2016. And Araujo often coached the girl at Cobrinha, a jiu-jitsu studio affiliated with the academy, according to the suit. That same month, Araujo began grooming her, with the goal of, quote, manipulating her emotions and taking advantage of her young age so that way he could ultimately sexually abuse her, the suit alleged. Araujo began online adult-level conversations with her and gave her extra attention, the suit states. His first improper act was a kiss he gave the girl in February of 2017, and that behavior progressed to unlawful sexual acts, according to the suit. Araujo told the plaintiff that because she was a virgin, someone had to teach her how to have sex, and that she could not tell anyone, the plaintiff's attorneys stated in the court papers. From there, Araujo had sexual intercourse with the plaintiff on nearly a daily basis. The abuse continued until October of 2018 when she was 15 years old, and for the first time had the mental strength to tell her family about the abuse, according to the suit, which further states that the teen's relatives called law enforcement and Araujo was arrested in March of 2019, charged with felony counts and sentenced in September of 2020 to 3 years in prison. Araujo, a first-degree black belt, moved from Brazil to the U.S. in 2013 and opened Overall Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy 3 years later. According to a listing for the school, Araujo chose Agora Hills, quote, a family-oriented community, as a location for his school where he aimed to create a, quote, nurturing environment for his students. Let's unpack that. So this instructor started molesting this girl at 13 years old. From the sounds of it, he did this for about 2 years before she finally stepped forward to say something. Once she did say something, action was immediately taken, and the dude only got 3 years for molesting someone for 2 years. You gotta love those California sexual abuse laws. Then the guardians of this girl decided not only to sue him, but to also sue the franchise itself. You know, this guy got 3 years for molesting this girl. She had to be molested for 2 years, lost her innocence, and is now serving a life sentence of having to deal with this. I do not blame her for suing them. Now, I also see the other side of the coin that the franchise owner most likely did not know about this abuse. The franchise licensed out its name, so most likely this guy was just paying for that name, and they probably had no clue what was going on. That brings us to the question of the day. What do you feel should be required for someone to be able to buy into a martial arts franchise besides just being able to pay their monthly dues? Me personally, I think local federal background checks should be something that's mandatory. Also, CPR first aid certified should be mandatory. But there could be other things that you guys feel should also be mandatory. Be sure to make sure you answer that question in the comment section below so that way I know you watched the entire video. As always, I truly appreciate all your likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, and of course, memberships. Keep the martial arts legit.
So me try present me human with the hard evidence that the seafoods in my man is a fraud who pretends. And I pretty pretty sure the boy is a sex offender. Cut them kick him out the Boy Scouts of America. But my baby now go rap with Fox and I go in the truth. She said me love Paul and I'm leaving you. And I'm the one for kick Paul and get me down baby back. Some stars study with the sensei and call Jack. And I call himself Sensei Jack Darby. He's got a dojo back a town next to Arby's. And I'ma teach me how to kill Paul and mash up him spleen.